Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to my channel. It's Paul Smith here, support worker, aka. Basically, today I want to talk about a keyboard. It's called the Magic Keyboard, developed by Apple this year, 2020, and I want to give my my opinion about the keyboard itself. Now, bear in mind, guys, this is my honest opinion. You may have another view. There's obviously other people that have done videos about this, about the keyboard. But as I said before, this is my opinion. So, you know, take it or leave it, as they say. But here we go. And the points I want to talk about today, getting in order, is I want to talk about the material, first of all. The cost, is it worth it? The good points, the bad points, what would I change about it? And most importantly, my conclusion. The overall, would I recommend it for the conclusion? So let's crack on. So first of all, as you can see, this is it here. The bring it closer to the camera so you can see it with the logo embedded into the material. I don't know if you can see that closely. I think that's better. Let's have a look. Yep. So there we go. That's the keyboard itself. Now, the material, solid material. The opening and closing of the keyboard, again, superb. Can't go wrong. I like it as well. Obviously, many people have spoken about it's floating. As you can see, it is floating. Obviously, when you put the iPad on to the keyboard. But what I will do, I'll show you that afterwards with it displayed onto the surface. So it opens, as I said, it opens, it's quite stiff, quite robust, and it's got the hinge mechanism at the bottom here and in between here, which is a nice little hinge. However, in terms of the positioning, it opens, as you can see, in these particular positions. And the furthest it can go is here. So it's almost like a right angle position. And then you tilt this back and it gives you your further positioning, as you can see. So that's what you get. So this is quite sturdy. It's made out of good material, which, you know, you would expect for something costing so much money. In terms of the weight, yes, people have spoken about this before. Do I find it heavy? No, I don't. I think this is, as again, for the cost, I'm going to have to mention it again. It is, I like things that are heavy and that, you know, you can actually feel in your hand. So this, for me, is a bonus. So let's crack on to the cost of this. Now, this cost me, this is, should I say, this is the 11-inch. There is also a bigger size, a 12-inch, I believe. 12.9 inch, if I'm right in saying. I'm not too sure, but there's another size. But I have actually purchased the 11-inch for my my Apple Pro tablet. So, as I said, this is the 11-inch. It costs £299 for this. Now, I'm going to be completely honest again. Do I think it's worth the money? No, I really don't. I believe if I was to market this and have it as a costing price, I would pay no more than, say, £225. I know that's very specific, but I don't think this is worth £299. And I'll tell you the reason behind that for the benefit of the tape. And it's simple for me. When I'm using this, especially, you know, I want to use it to write on, obviously with a pen. I find it very difficult. The only way you can actually do it, which most people demonstrated, is to have it angled to in that way. So it's upside down, and then you can use the tablet on this surface. That's another thing. Let me just display. You know, here's my Apple Pro. I'm going to show you how it's fitted onto the actual keyboard, and as you see, it just clicks in. It's got a metal attachment which is clips in nice and sturdy, You know, as you can see, I'm moving it up and down. It doesn't fall. So it's quite strong. It's quite strong and sturdy, which is good. You need that from a product like this. So as I was saying before, normally if I want to draw, you obviously have to turn it upside down and then start doing your drawing to get some form of stability on a table, or if you're in bed laying down, then on your lap. Is it good for your lap? Yes, it is. I've used it on numerous occasions on my lap, and it is perfect for using on your lap. So that's one thing. Now, let's talk about the things I don't like about this. The things I don't like about this is it's quite simple. Now, I'm going to log in and show you. When you're on Facebook, for example, now I'm a huge Facebook user. With the keyboard being how it is, you can't scroll. So there's no scrolling with the page, with a Facebook page. Now this is a common page, or shall I say a common app that people use. There's only users out there that use Facebook, and for some reason I don't have the full extreme use of the keyboard to allow me to use every aspect on Facebook, which is a major issue for me because obviously I use Facebook a lot. So that's a major issue. The other issue that people may have mentioned is the escape button. There's no escape button. There's no home. There's no like physical back button either, which is a problem. Don't get me wrong. You have command and home, but I wouldn't mind a dedicated button that you could just press and go back. That would be great for me to just get back, which you don't have on this keyboard. So I would have thought that they could have put another row of buttons, maybe on the top or just below here, you know, in the segment here. So they could fit another couple of buttons here to, you know, fundamentally achieve these activities that you want to be able to use when you're using your, you know, keyboard. So that's my major gripe. And also there's other apps as well. I could go into many apps that I use, but this is the main one that I use, which is Facebook. And it does not, as I said, this does not work highly using Facebook. Don't get me wrong, you can type, but again, you have to tap, and then you can type, or you can use the cursor to tap. Don't get me wrong, you can actually tap. So there is the facility to tap using the cursor. But as I said before, the little things do count. And this costing £299 should have everything on it, where I'm concerned. But it doesn't. It obviously has some flaws. Don't get me wrong. So let me just remove my tablet. So those are the bad points. What are the good points about this? Well, first of all, the design. I've never seen a design like this in my, you know, the time I've been using keyboards. You know, I've actually used another keyboard, which wasn't an app. By the way, it wasn't an Apple keyboard either. It was sponsored by someone else, another company, but it wasn't an Apple one. So obviously, Apple have produced this keyboard, and I can safely say that this keyboard is worth using for the people that have the money to spend to use it. So the good thing is the styling of it, the clickiness of the buttons. The buttons are very, very good, very tactile and very clicky, which I like. And also it has the backlight, which again, very useful. And that's another thing which I don't like. Sorry, going back again, I should have mentioned it, is the fact that to go into the backlight, there isn't a dedicated button again to even, you know, contrast the lighting on the pad. So you have to go into settings and different paths to get to the dimness of the light, or for example to make it even brighter, which again should have had it on the keyboard. Not looking it too much, but should have had it on there. So lastly, what would I change about it? Well, it's easy. All the things I've mentioned are the things, all the bad things that I mentioned are the things that I would improve about this. But there's one other thing that I would improve, is the angle. I wish this could actually fold down a little bit further, so it improves your viewing angle much better. So that's something I definitely would change as well. So it's all the things I've mentioned plus changing the angle. If only it could just, you know, move maybe, you know, a couple of inches or a little bit further down, or in some cases flat even would be quite useful. So maybe in time Apple could consider doing that. Would be a great help for us users. So that concludes my review, and the conclusion is, would I recommend it? Now, that is simple for me to answer. Yes and no. Yes, if you've got a bit of money and you don't mind spending £299 for 11-inch keyboard, Magic Keyboard, then yes. No, if you don't have that money to spend on a keypad. You can get other keyboards out there that cost less, that can do much more than what this does. But then there's the yes aspect. If, for example, you are a technical buff or somebody very interested in technology, then why not? It's something that you can show off to your friends. Not a lot of people have this, so you can always show off to your friends. So that's a good aspect of it. And secondly, I think it's going to last long. It's because it's made quite really well. It's going to last you a long time, and so the duration of it will be beneficial to many people. My other suggestion is, just to finally conclude, is if you are willing to pay to buy this, I'll suggest you wait a couple of months and buy a second-hand one for the price that I mentioned that it should have cost in the first place, which is $225. So guys, that concludes my review. I hope you found it useful. If I was rambling on, then I do apologise. But, you know, I'm here to be honest, and that's my honest opinion about the Apple Magic Keyboard. So if you like it, please hit the subscribe button. If you didn't, well, I do apologise. It's not going to be for everybody, but I will be back soon. Please remember to look after yourself, and most importantly, be happy. Goodbye.
So much for supposed to be. Girl, I wish you luck getting over me. And supposedly you're with him, but wish you were holding me. You wish you were holding me.